Okay, so basically in Polymarket you can have a lot of events. So let's say there's this event called Bitcoin up or down 5 minutes. So it's like within a small time frame of 5 minutes, you can bet that okay, Bitcoin will go up, and you do a buy order of $1. And right now it's in this particular 5 minute window that's going on. It's it's actually um, at the current moment, if you bet going up, then you'll actually win this much. So you'll have a profit of like 150% or something. And obviously it could go down as well. So if it goes down, then you'd have more profit going down. So and once this window is over, or like even before it's over, you can even sell your positions from doing a sell order. And that's when you'll actually realize the profit or loss, whatever you have. uh, and then you can have like long term events as well, like some political events which happen in like a more uh, long term basis, like daily or weekly or even several months down the line. So you can even have those kinds of events. So what we'll do today is try to build a workflow using the Polymarket contracts and our Kwala dashboard. Um, so like I want to know if anyone has used the Kwala dashboard so far, like the Seth, um, Gunnar, Akriti, um, Sahil I think has used it. Um, so just to give you some context, how I figured out which contract to work with. So I actually went to the documentation, and this is the Polymarket documentation, and it has some contract addresses. So what I did was I actually did a GPT conversation to figure out which contract is the one we are going to work with. So it turns out it's this one, the conditional tokens contract. Um, okay, so this is the address. So Polymarket is deployed on Polygon, and this contract, if we have a look at it, it has got some write methods and some read methods, and some events as well. So let's go to this one function called redeem positions. So redeem positions, what it does is basically you use it to uh, claim your rewards. Like let's say I place some order, and then I win some money, win some profit, and then I want to claim that reward and get it in my main wallet. So then I'll basically call claim, and that essentially calls this uh, redeem positions function, and it emits this event called payout redemption. So with this, what you could do, like you could basically do stuff like make some profits on Polymarket, then set up some Koala workflow which lets you automate backends. Like you won't have to write backends. You can just uh, set up a workflow and get based on some event happening on chain. You can set up some action that happens on some backend, which is done by Koala. So you won't have to do it, and you could maybe put that redemption, those funds, in some vault or some yield farm to earn some yield. So you get this. Obviously Polymarket is risky. It's like a betting kind of thing. um so you'd want your whatever wins you get to be in some stable coin, like you'll get USDC from here, and you'd probably put in some lending pool like Aave, Compound or something to earn some stable yield. So you'd want to do something like redemption and then reallocate those funds automatically on to some other vault. So to do that, um, we can set up some kind of workflow. So if we think about it, let's say I'm a Polymarket trader and I do some kind of bets like this Bitcoin one, and then I win some portfolio, win some prizes, and you can see I have some funds here in my wallet. Like I had already done some transactions earlier, and I closed my positions and I have some profits here, and it's like here in my cash. So uh, this is essentially something called redeem, which I showed you in the contract as well, like payout redemption. And this redemption can be actually watched by our Kwala Kwala workflow. So let me just show you how to build this kind of a workflow. Mm, okay, I think it was this. Yeah, it was this one. Okay, so first of all, we'll obviously set the workflow name, and for every um, event, actually, yeah. So we want this workflow to be triggered after every payout redemption event. So execute after the first payout redemption event and every such payout redemption event. And let's just set this trigger to some date in the future. Let's just say 5th March. And then there's this trigger source configuration. So in this, what we need to do is, because the event happens in this contract, so we put the address of this contract here, and it's on Polygon mainnet, and as you can see, it fetched the ABI of the contract itself, and you can see the events here. So we are interested in this one, payout redemption, so we just select that, and I'm just gonna select the same thing because the recurring, like every time this event happens, we want the same thing to happen. So we'll again select the um, same event name. Okay, so once this particular event has triggered, what you want to do is um, we want to check if this event has actually triggered for our particular wallet. Like bro, there are a lot of redemption events by there are thousands of users of Polymarket, so this event is pretty common. So I want to make sure that this particular thing is emitted not by any um, like any user, but like by my address. So I'll just get my address from here on my Polymarket dashboard, and I'll actually set up a different workflow which essentially what it does is mm, okay, this one. What it does is it processes this event, like the one which we set up here, and checks if the event happened for our particular wallet. So okay, this is some other contract. So what we'll do here is, instead of this, we'll just replace this with the event that we had, which is payout redemption. So I'll just say payout redemption and put the arguments here. We can get the arguments from our this thing, so we can just say payout. Yeah, it's an address, another address, bytes 32 is a string, this is a uint array, again a uint array. So we basically have to just pretty much copy paste it with some minor modifications. So I'll just do that for you. I won't go like too deep in this, but I'll kind of okay. So this is the redeemer, so I'll just say redeemer is a string. So here address is like a string, so you can just say string. IERC20 is also an address, so it's a string. The syntax might need a few modifications, but I'm just showing you kind of like pseudocode, so that you get the idea first. And we basically kind of make everything a string except the numbers, like uints. You can make them as like uint 64, so something like this. Yeah, I think this is the syntax, though I'll need to check the docs, but yeah. And payout is again something like this. So this is kind of the data that we're gonna get, and what we'll do is we'll pass this data to this compute function. We can name it something else as well. I named it compute, or you could name it something else probably, and you just get this data from here, and you can actually add a check here. So what I've done is this is actually my Polymarket address, and I pasted it here to just check if this is the the redemption event happened for my wallet and not any other user's wallet. So I just kind of hard coded it. You could even get this from pass it through some smart wallet or something like that, but for now I've just hard coded it. Another application of this is to like track whales. A lot of people are building copy trading okay, I hope everything is working fine. Yeah, so a lot of people are building like copy trading bots on Polymarket, so they can just trade whatever the whales are trading and just copy those orders. So I'll just show that in a while, but yeah, that's another application. So I just added this simple if condition to check and emitted an event. So my payout, I'll just name it something like my payout themes, or you can add your name or whatever. So I'll just name it this, and yeah, I'll deploy um, this workflow which is on the Kwala network, and you don't actually need to worry about uh, anything else, like getting Kwala tokens or anything, because you already get some tokens to work with. um, so once that's deployed, I'll come back to the contract, the workflow which we were working on. So we were watching this payout redemption event, and here what we want to do is, whenever this particular event happens, this one happens for every user, but we want to filter them out by our particular address. So what I'll do is call a smart contract and give it some name, and the target contract will be this one. This actually deploys a contract, so, and you'll this is like a Koala specific contract, not a Solidity contract, and you get the address of that contract here, and I just copy that and put it here and select the Koala chain. And if you remember, I had set the name as something like compute, and in the target params I'll basically pass the events, the event params from here, like address and whatever. So it will be something like re.event0. This is the first parameter, then the second, and so on. You just need to pass these. So I won't waste time in just typing everything out, but this is how you would do it, and you just click next and like deploy the workflow. I have already done it, so I won't do it again, but obviously, like, if you're coding with us right now, just let me know if you're facing any issue. Okay, so once this is done, what this will do is, whenever this redeem event happens on the Polymarket contract, it will trigger this workflow, and what this will do is call our other contract, which is on Kwala, the Kwala workflow one, and that will filter out the events for like my wallet. And once that is filtered out, you might remember we had emitted another event, like I named it Raj transaction or something, Raj. So whatever you named it in the in this workflow, second workflow, that event is something you'll kind of let me just open this. Okay. Okay, so what you'll do here, you'll create a third workflow now. In the third workflow, you'll paste the address of the the Koala contract that we did, and here whatever your event name you gave, Raj Koala, no, payout redeem or something like that, I think that was the name. So you'll basically pass that here, and you'll make it recurring as well, and And then what you can do is you can get Telegram alerts. You can set up Telegram alerts by setting up a Telegram bot. So let me just um, so setting up a Telegram bot is pretty easy. You just go to this bot father thing and select, write this command new bot and give some name to the bot, and it will give you this kind of thing. And you basically have to copy this to your token and paste it here. So this is actually even there in the Kwala docs. So um, you can check the docs. Let me know if you need the link. I'll share it on the chat. So this is the API endpoint in Telegram for sending a message. So here after bot, you just paste your token, and you can get, this is actually my Telegram chat ID. You can get yours as well pretty easily. You basically have to send a message to this get ID user info bot, and it will give you an ID. And then you can just say that, okay, in the message you could say something like whale. Okay, this was actually for the whale I did, but you could say that Raj has traded on Raj has redeemed some amount of funds which you could get from the event parameter. I think it was the third parameter or something. I don't remember, but yeah, I think it was the fifth parameter probably. This many funds. It's probably in USDC, but we can check that on Polymarket, and you'll basically get a notification. Okay, now you'll say that, okay, notification is fine, but what else? So once you redeem your funds, you'd want to do something else with those funds as well, right? So what you could do is create another action. Just click this add action here and do a smart contract call to some other function, so to some other contract like the Aave contract or some lending pool or something else, maybe something safe, so that you don't lose your funds anymore. Because Polymarket, I think it handles everything in USDC after you've withdrawn. Yeah, it's in cents in USDC, so it gives you USDC. So you could just use that USDC to supply it to something like Aave, maybe. Yeah, so basically you could do that, and this could happen in the same workflow, or you could create another workflow as well. But I think it's easier to do it in the same workflow. So something like function supply, I think this is the function on Aave. You'd have to obviously check the contracts on Aave, and this is something that you do just once, and this will just keep working behind the scenes all the time, 24/7. You won't have to get into the hassle of maintaining some server or some VPS or something, AWS or any database. You just need to set up these workflows once, and everything just happens on its own. You just need to have your Kwala balance, and it doesn't really charge much. I haven't even like topped up my balance even once so far. I've been doing this for the past 2-3 weeks. So yeah, so you could do something like that and deploy the workflow. So like I did have some, like I had set up earlier events, Polymarket transfer. So I set up some random events to get see if this was working. So yeah, I did get um, get notified for this. And if you see the transaction history as well, so I'll actually go to my wallet. So this is actually my Polymarket wallet. It ends in 26211. Yeah, I have it opened here as well. So yeah, so I think you can see some events here as well. Mm-mm. Is it in other transactions? Okay, let's just have a look at these transactions to see what's happening inside. Okay, payout redemption, yeah. And this one happened 5 hours ago. Yeah, I think this. Mm, yeah, so we had this redemption happen, and yeah, this is the exact same function, and we were paid out the amount, and we got a notification for that as well. Yeah, so I'd actually like the viewers, like you guys, to try this out on your own. If you have Kwala set up already, that's great. If not, you need to visit this link. I'll just share this. Uh, so this is the main deployment of Kwala. You can this is the prod version. There's another QA instance as well. Not sure if I'm allowed to share that. So but if anyone wants to try that, just ping me, ping, just send a message on any channel here, devs channel or anything. I've like the whole team is here. The devs are working all the time. Okay, so love to answer any questions. I'll actually make a like a doc or like a GitHub repo, so that I'll put a readme file there, so everyone can just try out I'll add the workflow code as well, so you can just copy paste the workflow code and run it yourselves. And there's one thing which I forgot to mention, I think. Yeah, so like if you're just trying to do like whale alerts, like copy trading, so for that there's something interesting. um so in the trigger, what you can do is select address tracking, and okay, I think I did show this to you in a different way by creating that Kwala compute function, that compute engine thing. So that's I think the more robust way to do it. But if you want to just do like, if you don't want to actually do copy trading, you just want to watch the whale address movements, then you can just select address tracking. Like whenever there's some wallet balance change in a particular address, you would get some action triggered. So you can set some date. I'll just set a random date and address to track. I don't really know any whales. I'll just add my address here. But please give alpha if you know any whales. So I'll select Polygon mainnet. And I can do some action. I can trigger some API. I can send Telegram event, Telegram message, Discord message, or any kind of webhook or like post API call. Or I can call some other smart contract. I can deploy a smart contract as well. So you can do pretty much anything with this. You don't need to maintain a server. You just write smart contracts on this. You don't even need to make a front end. So it's pretty simple. And we are actually even working on a LLM kind of integration, so you won't even have to fill these forms um, in the future. It's still in the works. So yeah, I think that's kind of it. I'll share a README file or like a GitHub repo which everyone can try out, and we also have this recording. So um, yeah, cool. Sahil, Akriti, Gunnars, and Seth, would you like to add anything?
It's great, Raj. It's very insightful. Thanks for taking the time out to do this. I think there's one more person who had joined, like Kuldeep. I think he just dropped out. Yeah, he just dropped out, but he was there for most of the session. But it was good. I think, yeah, looking forward to more such streams covering various other stuff under the purview of Kwala. So yeah, kudos.
Awesome.
Yeah, great job, Raj. It was really enlightening to see the stream. And it's a, like, because more and more devs are transitioning from web to web. So it's really a great resource for them to be more and apps using. So, job, and it's a initiative you have come up with. So, great, man. Okay. Also, Raj, are you going to share the whole recorded video, like, on Discord?
On Discord?
Like,
so basically I did it's still recording. I'll stop it, and I think I'll upload it on YouTube or somewhere, or Drive maybe, and then I can share the link on Discord, or like wherever you prefer.
Okay, sure thing. That works. Thanks.
Cool. I think I forgot to show like a um okay, I think I show a transaction here? Okay, I showed the portfolio, I think. Okay, cool. We'll probably have a lot more to build on Polymarket itself. So maybe next week or very soon we'll have another stream as well with some more interesting strategy or integrations with Kwala. Cool. I think that's all for today. I guess.
Thanks, Raj. It was a great session.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining.
Thanks, Raj. You have a good one. Yeah.
Have a good one, everyone. See you.
Yeah.